Hi, I'm Predhelt. I'm a veteran slayer and I'm going to be talking about the moveset and lingo of my most used weapon, the axe. This should help those who have not used the axe much and are looking to see what the moves do. So let's get right into it. There are two basic attacks for the axe. There is the vertical attack, which is the primary attack, which is left mouse button or X on a controller, which you can see is just this overhead swing. It's stationary and it's got a medium speed. Now there's the horizontal attack, which is the right click or a secondary attack or Y on a controller, which moves you forward. It's more mobile, but it's slower. And both of these can be charged up. So if I hold the attack button, so I'm holding the attack button here, it charges up. And as you can see, my stamina is going down for this attack, but I can move around. Now when I release, you can see my weapon is charged up. Now the different pulses, so 1, 2, 3, those are my levels of charge. And you can have up to 3 levels of charge on each of your attacks. These levels of charge also increase the damage for that specific attack. And so if I were to release it earlier, 1, 2, I'd have 2 levels of charge, which is useful because you might not have enough time to get in all 3 levels of charge. Now what this does is, in the top left you can see I have a meter, that increases the amount of meter that I gain underneath my stamina bar. So 3 levels of charge will increase your meter more. Unlike the horizontal attack, where I can 1, 2, 3 release, the vertical attack actually doesn't get its 3rd level of charge unless you do a perfect attack, which looks like this. So 1, 2, release on the 3rd. Now my person glows orange for a little bit and flashes. That's how you know you got the perfect charge. So if I don't do that, 1, 2, 3, and release, I overcharge the attack and it brings the attack back down to level 2, as if I just went 1, 2, and I released. Those are the exact same damage and those are the exact same amount of charge. But if I go 1, 2, 3, perfect charge. Release right as the 3rd pulse, and I do more damage, and I have 3 levels of charge. And I'll explain what the bar will do later on, but that is to start. We also have 2 special attacks, which right now I'm using Flight of Ruin, so I press the special button, which is Q, or I'll just pull up the move list right now and go over it. So here's the move list. We went over vertical attack and horizontal attack. With Flight of Ruin, which is Q, or on a controller, that's right bumper. That is your special attack. And there are 2 special attacks for the axe right now. So when I press my special button, I'll throw the axe out, it'll start spinning, and I press it again. Well, I'll get on the next one, but you see if I don't press it again, I just retrieve the axe and nothing happens. And you can see that bar next to that meter below the stamina, that circle, has to recharge, and I cannot use the special again until that fills back up. So now I'll throw the special out, and I'll press the special button again when it's out. So throw it out, press it again, my person glows orange, and I slam down. Now I'll explain what the glowing orange does, because as you can see when I do a perfect charge, my person glows orange. That's not just a visual thing. It makes it so that you don't get knocked over during that time. So you can get hit and you'll take the damage, but you'll just continue on attacking as if nothing happened. So I throw the axe out, and let's say an attack's coming, I just throw out the special, I tank the hit, and I finish. So that is the use of that attack. Or the resolve is what that's called, the orange glowing. That's called resolve. So that's the first one, and I'll jump over to the second special now and describe it. So when you press the special button, you throw your axe out in front of you, and it lands far away. So unlike the other special, the axe does not come back to you. You have to go and pick it up manually. But you can see you run pretty fast when it's on the ground. And when you pick it up, you can see that recharge, that there's a bit of a cooldown. It keeps you from throwing the axe over and over again. Now in combat, if I hit the behemoth with my special, you can see it generates a little bit of special meter for me, that bar below the stamina. Hit the behemoth with this special. This is Grim Onslaught, and it caused the axe to kind of bounce back towards me when it hit. I want to get some distance here. You can throw this thing pretty far. So I'm going to throw it from over here, there, boom, and it bounces back. And it lands kind of not too close to the behemoth. It bounces back pretty far. And it lands in front of you. So, but if you're right up next to him, as you'll see in a second, it has nowhere to really go. Boom, right there, right on the ground on my feet. And so you can see that does a lot of damage. It does more damage than the other special. So Grim Onslaught is a good damaging special, but high risk, high reward. Okay, so we've gone over the two specials and how they both have resolve on their finishers, which does the chunk of the damage. It's the biggest hitting part of both of the attacks. Now, we'll go over some other attacks. We have the aerial attacks. So, for the primary aerial attack, is this quick overhead sweep. It's similar to the grounded one. And you can combo from it, but you cannot charge it at all. And the other one is horizontal. It's also pretty quick. You can also combo from it, and you also cannot charge it. Now the dodge attacks, there are two of them, so you dodge and you press attack quickly, your personal dodge, and do this little step forward with the primary attack with a jab. Now if we do the secondary attack, you do dodge forward, your personal run a few steps forward and do a jab. So you see dodge, run a few steps forward, do a jab. So you can get different distances out of the dodge. So right there, and then if I were to go back here, do the dodge, and then run, jab, you can see I go further. And that'll help you with your spacing. Now, those are our attacks. Let's get into the combos. So we have two combos, and I'll just go show them on the move list. We have the Vertical Ripper, which is a series of left clicks or primary attacks or X on the controller. And you can see that there's this repeat at the end. It can charge the first and third attack of both of the combos. So let's get into this combo without the charges. So we have an overhead. And then that light jab you saw earlier, as you notice, this light jab is the same jab as the roll primary attack. That's because when you roll jab, you go into the next attack, which is the same as the primary combo. So overhead, jab, swipe up. So that's the third one, as you saw from before, and we'll finish this time. Overhead, jab, swipe up, and then a series of overhead slams if you repeatedly press the primary attack button. And you can see my stamina drains, but the attacks get a little bit faster over time. And so you can just continue doing that. You can also dodge out of these at several points. So right in between, you'll see you can't dodge in the middle of the attacks, but you can dodge in between the attacks. And especially for this, the Vertical Ripper, the finisher, well, the repeated strikes, yeah, you're gonna have to wait for the attack to slam down before you can roll out of those. Now for our secondary attack. We've already seen the horizontal attack, but this one's called the horizontal edge. As you can see, it's only 4 attacks, and the held attacks consume stamina. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that before. If you hold down, so you're charging your attacks, that drains stamina. As you can see before, like, I'm just losing stamina over time, but each time my character pulses and gains a level of charge, that's also draining stamina. So on my primary attack, if I were to hold that down, you can see a little bit of my stamina go down for each of those pulses. So that'll interrupt your stamina recharging. Now, let's get into this combo. So we have horizontal attack, and then that long jab, as we saw before, and then 2 overhead strikes. That's the whole combo. As you can see before, the dodge, roll, long jab, that is the same attack as we see. So long jab and then overhead. So those are our 2 combos, Vertical Ripper and Horizontal Edge. Now the axe also has this special property of combo crossover, which means that we can interchange these first 2 attacks and then finish with either of these two combos. So we can go, let's say, primary attack, secondary attack, and then secondary attack, secondary attack. Or we can go secondary attack, primary, primary. So we can swap out the first two attacks of either the combos with each other and continue the combo from there. So this can make it so, let's say I am attacking and then the monster moves back, I can do my secondary attack to give me the distance to close the gap on the tree. Or if I need, want to get a little bit faster because this primary jab is quicker, then we just continue the combo normally. Also, that means that if we're going for, let's say, different types of damage, let's say we're not worried too much about charge, we can just do these overhead attacks. They do a lot of damage. Moving on, we have the aerial combos also. I didn't really explain, but these basically are treated just like the first attack in either of the combos. So if I were to just keep spamming the primary attack, I would continue the vertical ripper combo. Same with the other one. If I were to do the horizontal attack, I'd just continue the horizontal edge combo. And there we go. Now I'm going to go run into combat, and we'll see how the charge works. As I hit the behemoth with my charged attacks, there's going to be a blue bar that's going to fill up. And as you can see, I got every hit I get off in the combo, after including the first one, all of them filled that special meter. That's because the entire combo is affected by charge. So if I charge this one up, as you can see, every single one that hits will give me some charge. Now, if I don't charge the first attack, but let's say I start the combo, and then I charge the third attack, Nasher is not very nice when it comes to me charging my third attack, I can tell you that. But I can just get a little shortcut. Oh yeah, there's a little bug, by the way, I should mention with the dodge roll attack right now that'll get worked out, where if you sometimes won't charge up the third attack. So that's our perfect charge. As you saw, you can get a perfect charge on the horizontal edge's third attack. That's the same with the vertical ripper's third attack. If I went like this, I can charge up. Also, when you're charging, as you just saw there, you can dodge out of the charge. So it uses a lot of stamina, but let's say you don't finish your charge and you can't get the attack off in time, you can just roll out. It costs a lot of stamina, but it'll save you the damage, and it is usually worth it, but just be careful not to be charging all the time. Now, let me get back into it. So I charged twice. Now I'll charge 3 more times, and you can see how the meter fills up way more. That's because charge levels stack between the two attacks that can charge in the combo. So I don't charge up the first one, I put 1 charge on. You can't really see it now because it's full, but that one attack I do has increased damage, so I'm going to show that off right now. I level 3 charge, that does like 519 damage. If I don't charge at all, that attack does 208 damage, and that's only going to affect the damage of that attack and none of the other attacks in that combo. Now, that meter is full, it's white, it's glowing, that means I'm ready to use my special, and if I hit the behemoth with the finisher of the special, it's going to increase my determination. So I'll throw the axe out, and I will hit. There. Now you see that dashed line go to a 1. That means I have 1 stack of determination. Now what that means is that all of my attacks are going to do more damage. So you saw before I had 519 or something like that. Now I'm doing 584 damage. And the more stacks of determination you have, the more damage that you do. So I get 6 levels of charge off on this combo to cause the last 2 attacks to give me a lot of charge so that I can do this again. Alright, now I'm charged back up again. I'll throw the axe out. I'll do the slam. Hit. Level 2 determination. I had 584 or so before. I hit again. 472. I think it's because I hit a part that... Oh no, it's a 384, I think. 674. There we go. Damage goes up for each one. And you can have up to 3 stacks of determination. Now, as you can see, there's this glowing white bar that is slowly depleting. Now what that does is if it runs all the way out, you're going to lose your stacks of determination. So you're not really strained to keep rushing for charge to keep your determination up, because you see it goes down pretty slow. So that's it. There's the moveset of the axe with my tips thrown in. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I hope you learned something, and best of luck in the Shattered Isles.